Well, the stakes could not have been higher in the last presidential election. The rule of law, sanity, democracy itself, to name a few. That is some of what was at stake in this country. But now we know that the very existence of Ukraine was at stake in our last presidential election. And it may be that the life of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky was at stake in our last presidential election. Jonathan Chait put it this way in New York Magazine today, quote, had 44,000 votes in Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin swung the other way, Zelensky would probably, at this moment, be in exile in a Russian prison or dead. Is Vladimir Putin evil? Is a question that no one is really struggling with anymore. The affirmative answer to that question has united everyone from Sean Hannity to Sean Penn. Everyone except Donald Trump. 2 weeks ago, on the night that Sean Penn appeared on this program, he also appeared on Sean Hannity's show in a remarkable discussion between two people who disagree on everything except Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. In the interview, after Sean Hannity called Vladimir Putin evil, Sean Penn said this.
But if there is a God, there will be vengeance beyond all possible comprehension.
Donald Trump still cannot bring himself to say anything like that. Donald Trump does not have the moral clarity of Sean Penn or Sean Hannity when it comes to Vladimir Putin. 2 days before Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, when Vladimir Putin publicly obtained encouragement and the authorization for an invasion in a truly foolish procedure that was televised, Donald Trump said, quote, there was a television screen and I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of Ukraine, Putin declares it as independent? Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? The next day, in responding to criticism of the Putin genius comment, Donald Trump said this.
Trump said Putin's smart. I mean, he's taken over a country for $2 worth of sanctions. I'd say that's pretty smart. He's taking over a country that really a vast location, a great piece of land with a lot of people and just walking right in.
Today, Vladimir Putin admitted that these sanctions are hurting Russia, saying, quote, the most urgent problem here is the disruption of export logistics. But Donald Trump thought that it was worth $2 worth of sanctions. It was $2 worth of sanctions. And Donald Trump said that Vladimir Putin was pretty smart to take those $2 worth of sanctions in exchange for taking over a country, what he called a great piece of land. And Donald Trump believed that Vladimir Putin apparently believed that Russian troops would be, quote, walking right in. Donald Trump had nothing but praise for Vladimir Putin, just walking right into Ukraine. Sean Hannity has publicly said he has been friends with Donald Trump for 25 years. And in the Trump White House, Sean Hannity was regarded as the real White House chief of staff, the one who never got fired, the one who had full access to Donald Trump, could give the president advice through the television screen or over the phone whenever he wanted to. And so Sean Hannity would like Donald Trump to be president again, which is one reason that Sean Hannity has been on a dedicated mission to get Donald Trump to say that Vladimir Putin is evil. On March 10th, 2 full weeks into Vladimir Putin's invasion that was in of itself a war crime, Sean Hannity tried to guide Donald Trump to, in effect, retract his statements about the invasion being genius and being pretty smart. And after a few minutes of warm-up conversation, Sean Hannity tried to give Donald Trump the perfect setup for finally saying the right thing. The perfect setup wasn't good enough.
You came under some fire when you said that Vladimir Putin's very smart. I think I know you a little bit better than most people in the media, and I think you also recognize he's evil, do you not?
Well, I was referring to the fact that he said this is an independent nation, talking about Ukraine, and I said some said this is before there was any attack. He's calling it an independent nation. Now, a lot of things are changing. When you look, this doesn't seem to be the same Putin that I was dealing with.
You also recognize he's evil, do you not? Well, I was referring to the fact that he said, and he goes on. Minutes later, Sean Hannity tried again from a slightly different angle.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Is that how you viewed Vladimir? Did you view Vladimir Putin and people like President Xi and Kim Jong-un and the Iranian mullahs as enemies that you needed to keep close?
I got along with these people. I got along with them well. That doesn't mean they're good people. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I understood them and perhaps they understood me.
Not only would Donald Trump not call Putin evil that night, but he wouldn't even call him an enemy 2 weeks into Vladimir Putin's war, 2 weeks into Vladimir Putin killing babies, killing innocent civilians constantly in Ukraine. Sean Hannity is not giving up on the dream of another Trump presidency, and he apparently has not given up on the dream of getting Donald Trump to look at Vladimir Putin through a moral frame. Sean Hannity tried again last night after 49 days of Vladimir Putin's war, 49 days of Vladimir Putin murdering now what we know to be hundreds of babies, 49 days of Vladimir Putin targeting hospitals, apartment buildings, trying to murder as many Ukrainian civilians as he possibly can. Weeks after President Biden said Vladimir Putin is guilty of war crimes, and in the same week that President Biden said for the first time that what's happening in Ukraine is genocide, Sean Hannity could not get his friend Donald Trump to use the word evil about Vladimir Putin and what Vladimir Putin is doing in Ukraine.
I asked you the last time you were on whether you think that this is evil in our time. Do you believe this is evil in our time?
I think in 100 years, people are going to look back and they're going to say, how did we stand back and NATO stand back, which in many ways I've called a paper tiger.
We did not stand back. NATO did not stand back. We are supplying Ukraine with the weapons they are using to survive. Some of those weapons appear to have sunk the most fearsome warship in the Russian fleet. Those weapons have killed Russian soldiers at a higher rate than any Russian combat deaths that we have seen since World War II. Donald Trump reached for those lies that the United States and NATO have been standing back, instead of answering Sean Hannity's clear question, do you believe this is evil in our time? Donald Trump refused to answer that question, and he just rambled, and Sean Hannity could not have given Donald Trump a stronger signal that he needed to answer this question the right way than by pointing out to him that he already asked him this exact question the last time he was on Sean Hannity's show. Sean Hannity is not in the business of surprising Donald Trump with questions on TV. We have every reason to assume that Sean Hannity told Donald Trump directly that he was going to ask him, do you believe this is evil in our time? And perhaps just to remind Donald Trump that he already told him that he was going to ask him this question in the actual interview, he once again told him he was going to ask the question in the interview before he asked the question. He said, I asked you the last time that you were here on whether you think this is evil in our time. Do you believe this is evil in our time? And Donald Trump said nothing. He said a couple hundred words that included NATO, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, NATO becoming rich. He said something really insulting about Chuck Todd, but he did not dare to say one insulting word about Vladimir Putin, not one word.